Another round of showers and storms developing right now. I'll be tracking those for you and what the week holds for all of us. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo on this Sunday afternoon. Hope you've been having a very good weekend. Coming up, another blow up, another round of showers and storms to be tracking in some areas that have just been so wet. We'll talk about the potential flood issues as we go through the remainder of this Sunday and how this rain is going to play out, plus the factors that will be influencing our weather forecast for the week ahead. As we get started, as always, thank you so much for liking this video. And if you've been looking for your forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, you found your home right here at Meteo Mundo. Thank you so much for subscribing. Looking at our enhanced satellite imagery and our live lightning data. And again, we've had a few showers and storms develop, but it's going to get more widespread, I believe, as we go deeper into this Sunday. First thing we'll do is switch over to the visible satellite imagery here, and then we'll zoom into the spots that's already starting to see some of these showers and storms develop. That is mainly south and east of Jamaica and just to the south and west of Haiti, although some of this moisture is beginning to stream back over Hispaniola. Not a ton of lightning strikes out of this as of yet, but I just want to show you this visible satellite imagery because you see those brighter white cloud tops. Those are high cloud tops. These are showers and storms getting going. There's ample moisture. That trough is providing a lot of lift in the atmosphere. And again, this is just one area that I expect to see more wet conditions. Now, at the present time, we've missed most of this rain east of Jamaica. There was a cluster of a few storms on the northern, offshore waters of Jamaica, but they pulled away towards Cuba. So at this point in time, just a few passing showers on the eastern side of the island. But my friends in Jamaica, you are going to have at least some shower and storm chances later on this Sunday afternoon, and I'll highlight that coming up. Now, again, I do expect this moisture to spread over Hispaniola very rapidly this afternoon. Sure, the rain may be a little bit more localized again for today, but it's going to turn wet in spots. There will be some downpours. Again, just plenty of moisture coming into the southwest. Already some clouds and a few showers near Lacaille, kind of eking towards Port-au-Prince, and everything's just pulling from southwest to northeast. So for the Dominican Republic, the remainder of the day, you should expect a better opportunity for rain with some building clouds. Downpours are possible, an isolated lightning strike. And again, we have wet soil and we have, high terrain in this area. So landslides, mudslides still continue to at least be something that we have to keep an eye on. If you live in these areas, let me know how it's going. Several of you have reported in, and it's been okay in the Dominican Republic. But again, the question is just how much more rain can we really hold in this area before we have more problems? I do expect more scattered showers to develop in the Turks and Caicos for today as well. Now, in the enhanced satellite imagery, you don't see a lot happening over Puerto Rico and the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands. But when I switch over to the visible satellite imagery and we're picking up these lower level clouds a little bit better, you're going to get a much better feel for what's really happening. And you know what it is? Additional heavier rain developing across the island right now. We've had some scattered showers across all of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico today. And again, it's just been an extremely wet period where we've had plenty of flood issues and power issues across many of the islands. Right now, at the present time, you're looking at the live radar out of San Juan. Additional heavy rain is lining up just on the interior side or the northern coast of the island from San Juan towards Dorado, Vega Baja, Vega Alta, on over towards the west, just south of Arecibo and southeast of Isabela. That's where the rain is right now. But look, guys, additional showers will continue to develop across Puerto Rico, the coastal islands, and then all of the U.S. and British Virgin Islands as well. And many of you from these areas have let me know, again, you've had some issues. You've had some flooding issues. You've had some power issues. Some of the storms on Friday and portions of Saturday were cranking with a ton of lightning. So you get an opportunity, drop it in the comments section below. Let me know how you guys are faring right now. Obviously, our thoughts are with you guys. If nothing else, I hope you got your power back. But you get the idea that additional rain is back on the way for those areas. And again, look, we might try and get rid of the flood threat in this area later today. By the way, that flood watch for the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico goes until 6 p.m. this evening, and then hopefully it expires. but it's not like it's going to just dry out like that. There's more rain on the way, and I'll talk about that coming up. We have some rain coming back into the Leeward Islands right now. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little bit easier to see on that enhanced satellite imagery, that moisture coming back in from the southwest. So places like Saba and St. Martin and Anguilla and St. Bartholomew, St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbuda, Antigua, Montserrat, all of those areas will see the opportunity for some passing showers. The moisture quality is going to get better, which means we could see more downpours. And again, everything kind of moving in from southwest to northeast. We could see passing showers in places like Guadeloupe and Dominica and Martinique the remainder of the day, though it will be a little bit more limited. And then speaking of more limited, I can't rule out a shower for St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada, but not a lot. Many dry hours and locations. You get as far south as Trinidad and you can see the moisture plume developing south and east of the island. That should lift a few showers across both Trinidad and Tobago in the afternoon hours. Again, I don't expect it to be extremely widespread, but we'll get some cloud coverage and the opportunity for a few showers around Port of Spain and other areas for the remainder of the afternoon. You have a little bit better chance than areas to your north. One of the areas that continues to see some decent rain here almost every day are our friends in the ABC Islands, and this is welcome. They have been very dry. They are now, though, under this moisture plume coming off the mainland. They've gotten extra cloud coverage. They've gotten, obviously, breezy conditions. We expect that this time of the year, but they've also gotten some showers passing across the islands. And again, you live in these areas, would love to know how it's been going, but obviously, again, wetter weather kind of traversing right through here. And look, friends, this is going to continue to be the story where we're going to have wet conditions for the central and the eastern sides of the Caribbean. But when you get farther west, look how much drier it is. And really, to tell the story, we can look at our water vapor imagery. Green, moisture-laden air. Red, relatively dry air. This is at the upper levels of the atmosphere. And again, you want to see that green because that shows that there's lift all the way through the lower levels to the upper levels, which means the moisture quality is high. We're really seeing that, again, anywhere from Jamaica to the east, but you get towards the Cayman Islands and my friends in Belize, in Honduras, and Nicaragua, and Cancun. We're going to basically be dry, which means it's going to be very hot outside as well. So the same scenario plays out for the Bahamas. Again, it's been beautiful weather for Freeport and Nassau and Eleuthera and Abaco. It's just been really nice weather there. Again, pretty quiet. Enjoy it, guys. Get out and enjoy it. It's going to be nice. Let me switch over here I'm going to get rid of the lightning data. I just want to show you the temperatures real quick. A couple of spots. First of all, still beautiful in the Bahamas. I do want to mention again, Belize, even the coastline is up to 90. San Ignacio is almost at 100, and they will go above 100 this afternoon. And interior locations of Central America, many spots are going to be above 100 degrees. Again, obviously terrain and altitude plays a factor in that, but it is going to be hot and dry in these areas. Look, even Georgetown and West End are knocking on the door of 90 degrees. Kingston hasn't gotten the rain yet. It's 91. You know it's going to be sticky. It's going to be steamy, and it's going to be humid. And again, we can see as the clouds move in, temperatures will fall off a little bit in these areas here. But it's going to be another hot day before the rain moves in. Now, as far as winds go for you mariners, I've seen a few gusts through portions of Puerto Rico, some there towards the mainland, but generally speaking, we don't really have any big areas of strong wind. I don't see any mariner advisories at this point in time as far as rough surf and sea conditions to kick off the week. It's something I'll certainly monitor, but right now we're looking pretty good. So let's get into the forecast and how this plays out. What's one of the big factors that's going to be influencing many of us for the week ahead? Our Saharan dust layer is returning. There's a big old plume of that Saharan dust traversing the Atlantic basin right now, and it will begin to impact the Leeward Islands in the next couple of days and just become relatively thick. You can see that forecast. If you look on the top right-hand side of your screen, you can see the date. So as we get deeper into the week here, you can see that dust layer traverse the Caribbean. Now, it will begin to thin out, but this dust layer is going to hold together through the Caribbean and probably curl back up into the Bahamas and portions of Cuba and even where I live here in Florida. I think we're going to get a couple of hazy days to wrap up the week. So the Saharan dust layer is coming back in. Keep that in mind. I would especially highlight, sorry about that. I wanted to bring myself back on camera. I would especially highlight the Windward Islands, say from Barbados towards Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, the ABC Islands, and then still some thicker dust possible for the southern side of Hispaniola, portions of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and then eventually back towards the Bahamas, thinning out a little bit. But obviously, the Saharan dust layer suppresses the chance for showers and storms and also suppresses any tropical development as well. That's a great thing. We'll take that. And at this point in time for the week ahead, I don't expect any tropical activity, but you know how it goes. Now we're in early May. It's time to really keep a very close eye on things. We're going to stay with our easterlies, okay? That's going to be another big thing as well. There's going to be a mid-latitude cyclone here moving through Bermuda and coming away. It's actually it's going to take this trough and drag it with it. But at the surface, we stay with our easterly winds, which will again still kind of butt up against some of this surface moisture and provide some opportunities for showers, but no big wind shifts in the forecast here. Generally speaking, easterly winds for my friends in the Bahamas. From time to time, you should expect a small craft caution for some of those easterly swells that'll be working their way in. All right, let's break down the rain chance over the next 5 days. I've got an island by island rain outlook coming up as well, so stick around for that. The first thing we'll do though is see how this plays out. I'm going to actually switch models here. From time to time, there's certain models that I think have a much better handle on what's happening, and I have the opportunity to show you those. And as I'm doing that, again, thank you for liking the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet to Meteo Mundo, you like what you're seeing, click subscribe. Again, as well as we get closer to hurricane season, you think your family and friends might get something out of this? If you wouldn't mind sharing this page with them, I would certainly appreciate that as well. Okay, so here we go. Wet weather again moving in. We'll start in Jamaica. And look, again, scattered showers the remainder of today. But tomorrow, the 6th, it's going to be relatively wet. At least the opportunity for a few more showers on Tuesday, and then we should get a little bit drier as we get into Wednesday. And part of that is going to be the Saharan dust layer that'll be moving its way back in. So I think how it plays out for Jamaica is we'll have some rain later on this afternoon into this evening on this Sunday. And we can see that play out again on the model. Is it going to be extremely widespread? Probably not. Now, as we get into tomorrow could be the best chance for more rain across the island over the next 5 days. It looks to be a relatively wet with some isolated storms in the forecast for the entire island, where I think a couple of spots could get an inch of rain, maybe even a little bit more. And then again, it just stays wet on Monday. Then into Tuesday, the rain begins to fade, and into Wednesday, we do begin to dry out a little bit more. So my friends in Jamaica, your best chance for rain later today, and then certainly on Monday. Boy, we could use some drier weather in Santo Domingo, all of the Dominican Republic, all of Haiti, Port-au-Prince, Lacaille. Boy, it's still going to be pretty wet, guys. This moisture axis is still right over the area. We just haven't been able to shove it away. And again, we saw all of that streaming coming in from the south. So again, a little bit more spotty this afternoon. I think the model picks up on that very well. That being said, there will still be some downpours across the island. Then as we get into the overnight hours, we should quiet down. But as we move into tomorrow afternoon, look how widespread the rain again becomes. I think it's at least an 80% chance for showers here, some of that on the heavier side. So again, we still have to watch out for some isolated flooding across the island as we move into our Tuesday. Rain chances are going to remain higher, say, compared to Jamaica. Should be again a little bit more spotty. And then as we get into Wednesday, still some rain around. There's just no completely dry day coming up in the near future. Going to zoom out just a little bit here. I do want to mention our friends in the Cayman Islands. You're about the same scenario as well. Maybe you avoid some of the heaviest rain, but still, it's been a relatively wet period for you. And generally speaking, that really doesn't change much as well. All right, we need to try and get rid of the rain in the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And again, we're just not going to do a big, good job of that, to be quite honest. Again, I hope that we don't have a concentration of rain to reissue or reprompt any of these flood watches or warnings. Again, the flood watch that's in effect should expire at 6 p.m. and hopefully not be reissued again. But as far as rain chances go, it's still going to be out there, guys. This is Monday morning, some rain. This is Monday afternoon from St. Croix and Christiansted and Esperanza, Vieques, on over towards Culebra and St. Thomas and Charlotte Amalie and Cruz Bay, on over towards St. John and Tortola and Roadtown. Wet, 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 wet. And that just doesn't really switch. Could there be a lower rain chance here into Wednesday and Thursday? Possibly. But again, as I'm showing you here, I'll stop it on the 7th real quick. There's, what's going to be happening Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, again, just in a broad sense, maybe we're pulling the thickest towards the east, but rain chances remain high in this area. So I've still got to watch out for any potential isolated flooding, and you should as well. Again, you always check in with your local government for the latest information, especially for anything that goes along with some pertinent information like any flood issues. All right, for our friends here in the Leeward Islands, Anguilla and St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, Barbuda, and Antigua, the entire island chain, scattered showers and downpours will continue. A little bit more concentrated, I think, beginning tomorrow again, at least for our next couple of days after that. Again, moisture stays in place, so you should expect rain at any point in time during the day, more concentrated in the afternoon, but I think even some evening and overnight showers are impossible. So the five-day forecast for Antigua, Barbuda, and this is really going to be for all of my friends in the Leeward Islands, 50% chance for showers the remainder of today, a little bit more concentrated again tomorrow and Tuesday, where heavier rain is more of a possibility as the rain moves across the islands. Then we're back to a 40% chance for mainly afternoon showers. Again, I can't rule out a rumble of thunder. It should mainly just be some rain, but there could be a few lightning cracks, thunder cracks and some lightning as well. With daytime highs there, that's going to remain in the lower 80s. As has been the case, which seems like the last several weeks, we get towards Montserrat, still some scattered showers, Guadalupe, a few passing showers, Dominica south, the moisture becomes a little bit more limited outside and the rain chance begins to fade at least a little bit. Now, again, in these areas, it's not like we're going to be completely dry, and I'm going to switch models here to a little bit more of an extended one to better serve these areas. But you can see it is still somewhat limited moisture. And remember, this is the spot that's going to have the thickest Saharan dust coming in starting tomorrow, but really getting thicker throughout the week. So again, not a ton in the way of rain expected for these areas, and the Saharan dust layer includes that. So again, respiratory sufferers, keep that in mind. Going to be a lot of haze in the sky for most of the week. Passing showers will continue in the ABC Islands. Again, nothing extremely concentrated, but the rain chance continues as that moisture continues to surge off of the mainland and then work its way to the north. And again, it does tap into this surface trough. So this moisture without the surface trough wouldn't be bringing nearly as much rain in this area, but when you combine the two, now you get a setup for an axis of heavy rain and moisture, and that's exactly what's been happening in these areas here. So it all kind of does come together. Scattered showers will begin to return to the southwest Caribbean, but nothing very concentrated, and many dry hours and locations for the northwest Caribbean, the Cayman Islands, up and down the coastline of Central America as well. At best, we're going to get a passing shower here, but it would not shock me if you live in this area on the map right now that you don't see a drop of rain over the next 5 days, or if you do, it's very, very limited. Speaking of very limited, it's still the same situation for my friends in the central and the northwest Bahamas. Could we get a passing shower here or there? It's possible with the easterlies returning. Southeast Bahamas, closer to the Turks and Caicos, certainly a little bit moisture quality is better there, slightly better chance for a few showers. But again, for places like Marsh Harbor and Nassau and Freeport and Allenstown and Walker's Key, it is not going to shock me if at the end of this you say, Rusty, I didn't get a drop of rain right on through next Friday. So how does the rain chance play out in your area? For the Northwest Bahamas, beautiful weather, not a lot of rain. You are still under the short-term drought. Okay, so keep that in mind. Drought concerns continue for the Bahamas. For Jamaica, 40% chance for showers today, more concentrated tomorrow, 40% chance on Tuesday. ABC Islands just continue with a very high rain chance. It may not be a ton of rain every day, but there's a high opportunity to catch a shower in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Dominican Republic, again, more scattered today, more concentrated tomorrow, still a 60% chance on Tuesday. I might be generous putting a 20% chance in for Barbados and probably generous with a 30% chance for Trinidad and Tobago, but the opportunity at least is there. 60% chance for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands today. And yes, the rain chance goes even higher Monday and Tuesday, right in line with what's going to be happening back into the Leeward Islands as well. What do you say we take a look at the total precipitation here? And again, this is how much rain are we going to get over the next 5 days. It continues to be very impressive in the same areas that has been very impressive here for the last week to 2 weeks. So again, starting right now on this Sunday afternoon, how much more rain could we see in about a 5-day period? Well, again, this is not bad totals here across portions of Jamaica. Anywhere where you get towards the whites, you're looking at more than 2 inches of rain. Let me see here if this thing is going to cooperate and let me do more than one at a time. Oh, it's not. Well, stinky on it. Trying to be able to click more than one of these, which it normally lets me do. Sometimes there's a hiccup here and there. There we go. There we go. Now it's working again. You get the idea, though. These are solid rain totals. A fair amount of this will fall later today and then on Monday. But still, there's a few showers in the forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for Kingston inland, let's call it 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. That's, 2 inches is about 50 millimeters. So 50 to 60, 70 millimeters possible in a couple of spots. For our friends in the Dominican Republic, once again, this model is just saying, you know what, I'm going to stick to the same scenario I've had, and that's very wet weather in interior portions, slightly drier along the coast. Places like Lakai, though, especially right there as that moisture comes in, could see some, maximums. So on average, it's 2 to 4 more inches of rain. This could still lead to localized problems. Again, in these areas, keep me in mind and let me know how it's going. Once again, right along the immediate coast, it gets a little bit drier, but some of that higher terrain area, get another 2 to 4 inches. It could be rough. From Santo Domingo to Punta Cana, La Romana, we'll call it 2 to 3. Once again, another bullseye of some potentially significant rain back into Puerto Rico. And again, I want to be clear, this is what, might fall between now and Thursday or so. And man, if we get another 3 or 4 inches, I don't know how we can avoid another at least flood watch scenario for portions of the island. I mean, as much as we've already seen, but you get the idea. San Juan, Guayamo, on over towards Fajardo, even as far west as Arecibo, hopefully a little bit drier for Aguadilla, on over towards Mayaguez, but Yauco still could see some significant rain. My friends in St. Croix, we'll call it 1.5 inches to maybe 2 inches. And I think that is absolutely plausible. Like, with the amount of moisture that's in play, I don't see how we wouldn't be talking about another 1 to 2 inches of rain. I think that's absolutely spot on from the model. And it's the same thing again in the Leeward Islands. Now, we average these numbers because, again, there are, look, if this little moisture axis right here falls over the islands and it's not that far away from Barbuda, they get 2.5 or 3, and that still is a plausible scenario here. But you get the idea that certainly there's going to be some rain dragging across these areas. Guadalupe kind of tends to be, again, the delineation between the thickest moisture, with Dominica getting more of that rain. But then you get south towards Martinique. And as I mentioned, Barbuda and everyone else off towards the south is much more limited. And again, the Saharan dust layer causes this issue. If I zoom this out, guys, is it clear to see where the Saharan dust is moving in? And it's keeping and tapping all of that moisture in an elongated west to east fashion. Really clear to see here, isn't it? Exactly how that's going to be playing out over the next 5 days. Now, again, you get far enough west in this localized fashion, we pick up a few showers. And again, notice I mentioned, look, high rain chances for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, but they don't add up to much. But again, if you get a 100th of an inch of rain in a day, you've still had some rain. And so that's why I still keep the rain chances high in those areas. And as I've mentioned, we are dry out towards the west, and we are dry up towards the Bahamas, outside of the southeast Bahamas. Turks and Caicos, again, the opportunity there, you can see that maybe 2 to, 3 inches of rain at most there. That's what I would expect. All right, friends, another wet forecast. We got you covered here at Meteo Mundo. I'll keep you up to date. You can find us across all social media, Instagram, TikTok, X. You can find us there on the Facebooks as well. You want to send me a picture or video, any business inquiries, it's myMediaMundo@gmail.com. So again, I'll keep you updated. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.